We're talking week 13 and 14 of the NFL season because I was out sick last week, and there's a few things that I want to say. First off, we've got to talk about Tommy Cutlets, Tommy Stromboli, Tommy Salami on the New York Giants. Someone has to explain to me how his game looks 10 times better and more effortless than Daniel Jones. Listen, we knew Daniel Jones was not supposed to be a top 5 or 6 overall pick. We knew that. But what it should never look like is so damn hard and so damn difficult. Tommy comes out and he's completely effortlessly distributing the ball without holding it for too long, scrambling around, allowing the offensive line to get him in trouble. Watching Tommy Cutlets versus Daniel Jones with that exact team, it's night and day. It's leaps and bounds. And if you're a Giants fan, you have to be extremely concerned. Every single person in the world, it seems like, except for their GM, sees the writing on the wall with Daniel Jones. Tommy's made some of the best throws that I've seen in the NFL all year long, and it's not a painful process. The thing about Daniel Jones's game is it's so incredibly laboring to watch. It's clearly laboring for him as the player, and it's incredibly uncomfortable for us to be watching. QB is supposed to look like what it looks like when Tommy is under center. I'm not saying he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but what I'm saying is unfortunately, Daniel Jones's ACL injury provides you a snippet of what it can be like when the quarterback has natural instincts to play football. Daniel Jones is a backup at best, and now that we've seen this, we know that he's been the one getting in the way of the Giants getting on a roll. Shout out to my fellow Italian brethren, Tommy DeVito. While we're on the conversation of New York football quarterbacks, something I wanted to chat about 2 weeks ago was the fact that Zach Wilson, who has no right to really be saying anything, to be turning any job down, he's quote unquote hesitant to play and basically doesn't want to put himself back in the fire for the quarterback role. The thing that drives me nuts about these cocky quarterbacks is that I get on here all the time and I talk about a lack of self-awareness. But there's something about the cockiness that just makes it 10 times worse for me. Because before Zach had that blow-up game, all of the things that happened before showed that guy's got no options. That guy might be out of the league, he's so bad. And so now he's gonna go to the coaching staff and say, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a good fit for me. I'm not gonna play. Now, obviously, in hindsight, we know that he went and he played and he had a great game. But him, quote unquote, being reluctant to step back in, beggars can't be choosers, baby. Now I want to talk about Patrick Mahomes and Jordan Love. I never have a problem with players showing emotion on the field, even quarterbacks. There are some people who believe that quarterbacks should sit quietly on the sideline with their hands on their lap and their legs crossed. I'm not one of those people. My thoughts on Patrick Mahomes and his quote-unquote outburst on the sideline, I think it was a little bit over the top. I do. And I think sometimes when you're in that headspace, but you know you're the best person to ever touch a football field, you kind of let yourself go a little bit further than others might. This is likely going to be a one-time thing in terms of the intensity that we saw him get to on the sideline. The issue is sometimes when you have dudes as good as Patrick Mahomes or as good as Steph Curry, if things don't consistently go their way because they're used to so much success, they can really start to have a real tantrum. I never have an issue barking on the sidelines. I never have an issue getting in somebody else's face. But I think for him to be as unhinged as he was, multiple people holding him back, and really going so hard at the refs, throwing shit, trying to get in their faces, I think it's a bit much, but I don't expect this to be a consistent thing. And I assume he'll get it cleaned up. He's already apologized. And lastly, want to wrap up with quick thoughts on Jordan Love, who I've seen grow leaps and bounds over this season, making a case for himself to be the next heir to the throne with the Packers. So back when Green Bay and Kansas City played together, first thing I want to point out is Green Bay's defense looked absolutely elite in that game. And the offense run by Jordan Love was seriously exploiting Kansas City's defense that has looked like probably the best of Patrick Mahomes' career. They seem to be able to get home on him, sacking him, collapsing the pocket in ways that we haven't seen really since the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense did so in the Super Bowl. He wasn't able to escape and make his throws on the run that is such a pivotal part of his game. And so that's how you start to see that Green Bay's defense is no joke. Now, Jordan Love, he looked like a completely different dude in that game. He looked confident, decisive. The ball popped right out of his hands. He's effortlessly mobile, and he's fluid with his feet. That is not the same guy that you and I saw opening up the season, playing against the Detroit Lions, getting a beat down. I feel like now that they've taken these training wheels off and he's gotten a level of confidence in himself, he's showing off his arm talent. He's making incredible throws to Romeo Doubs, 40 or so yards down the field, and he's decisively distributing it to his top receiver, Christian Watson, with the TD, regardless if the play breaks down or not. He's allowing his instincts to take over, and you can see the talent that got him drafted. I'll be honest, I kind of started to write him off a little bit early in the season because you can see that there's this incredible physical ability that he has, but he's not unlocking it. He's not comfortable stepping into his own skin. But now that we've seen that shift in that Kansas City game and some other major flashes in other games, I think Jordan Love has a real case to be one of the better quarterbacks in the NFC if he continues with this level of progress. So, appreciate you stopping by. Sorry for the long wait on the NFL opinions this week and last week. Just know that if I take too long, I'll always be back. See you next time.